Alright then. Hey everyone. Big day, huh? The Quadrilla Marble Grand Prix, or Quadrilla Marble GP, or QMGP, however you want to call it, it's finally announced. Finally out there. This was an idea I had in the works for like over 4 months now, and I think now is a good time to talk about a heap of things. Various details about this new tournament, how it affects the other tournaments, and whatnot. So, yesterday I announced that Individual Quadrilla Marble League Season 6 would be the final season of Individual QML. The QMGP, as I'm going to call it, is indeed meant to be the effective successor to it, and will be the recurring secondary tournament to the Team Quadrilla Marble League, which will remain as the main series of this YouTube channel. Of course, we're still in the midst of Team QML Season 5, and the plan is that Individual QML Season 6 will be the next series after this, and then QMGP 2025 will take place before Team QML Season 6. Okay, let's talk about how this new tournament works. QMGP is going to be somewhat of a Marbula 1 style tournament. It'll be a tournament of quadrilla marathons with different layouts, perhaps some classic quadrilla races, and I'm also planning to throw in some gravitracks or skiing sections to some of the rounds for some variety. The general idea, though, is that it's a quadrilla racing tournament. As the announcement implied, this tournament will go by years instead of season numbers, and it will have 16 original new teams of 2 marbles, so not teams from the Team Quadrilla Marble League. The format is also a bit different from your standard Marbula 1 style competitions. There will be a league stage with 8 standard rounds where marbles race for their teams and get points based on their finish. Nothing you aren't familiar with already. But here's the twist. After the 8th round, there will be a playoff round where the top 4 teams from the league stage will battle each other for the championship. The structure will be such that the top 2 teams from the league stage will face each other, and then the winner goes straight to the grand final. And then the 3rd and the 4th place teams in the league stage will also face each other in a sort of eliminator, where the loser is eliminated, they'll get 4th, and the winner will face the loser of the top 2 match that just happened. And then that round will essentially serve as a semi-final, where the winner of that goes on to the grand final to race for the overall team championship. Hopefully the diagram on screen can help you make sense of this. It's a format used in some sports leagues, so you may be familiar with it, but if not, that's fine too. I'm sure it'll become clearer moving forward. I chose to do this playoff system because I feel like it distinguishes it nicely from the other marble racing series you may have seen, and it also guarantees that the team championship will come down to the final no matter what. Now I said team championship because there will still be an individual championship, but this will be decided by the league stage only. So after the 8th and final round in the league stage, we will have crowned an individual champion, but of course the playoffs will be yet to happen. So yeah, that's my general plan for this new tournament. I think I should talk about why I'm doing this new 3rd series and why I'm choosing to end the individual QML. So, the individual QML itself is actually what started QML as a whole. Season 1 was an unfilmed competition that I did between 16 marbles for purely my own enjoyment in late 2020, and back then I hardly had any unique marble types at all, and I think you could tell. I was pretty much using any marbles I could vaguely tell apart. I mean, how many pairs of IQML marbles are pretty hard to tell apart because they look so similar? There's Java and Mystic Orb, Wave Runner and Neptune, Tarzan and Goop can be tricky sometimes, Bluetail and Casper can be tough whenever Casper qualifies, you get the idea. I only actually ordered marbles for the first time in December of 2020 for Team QML Season 1. But last year, in 2024, I made a number of orders and my marble collection has ballooned in size. I thought about using some of these new marble types for an individual QML expansion, but that either means making an IQML B division, which I'm not enthusiastic about, or having more than 4 marbles do nothing after they don't qualify, which I also don't like the sound of. I also haven't done any side tournaments outside of the team or individual QMLs before. There have been a couple of off-season events, but that's it. The QMGP just feels like the perfect opportunity to not only use some of the really nice new marbles I've gotten over the past few months, but also to try something new in terms of the actual content that I make. Alright, now I want to talk about rosters. Marble rosters, team rosters, they're really important. And I already talked about the individual QML roster with regards to its marble type variety. But let's focus more on the actual naming and theming. Some of you don't know this, but both the individual QML and the team QML started off with some of the competitors named after JMR teams or individuals. This is one of the many reasons why Team QML Season 1 had unlisted videos. I chose to rebrand all JMR teams and marbles in both the team and individual leagues before the second seasons of these leagues. And that's why the oldest publicly available series on this channel is Individual QML Season 2. The second season of the Individual QML is a really important one in QML history because it introduced an aspect which I think is a big reason for why the individual league has lasted as long as it has: the nominated marbles. 4 marbles from some of the best performing teams of the Team QML join over, and this introduces fresh faces from every season in the individual QML. It wasn't like anything I'd seen before, and it was an idea that, even in retrospect, worked pretty nicely. Did I expect nominated marbles to lock out the top 2 of Season 2, let alone one of those literally never exiting the top 4 and preventing any of the following seasons from having 4 new nominated marbles? I did not. But regardless, the nominated marble system was an ingenious way to keep things interesting in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League. There was only one issue with this. When choosing to rebrand the IQML marbles, I had to make it so that the nominated marbles that came from full-on teams didn't feel out of place among the original IQML marbles. Seabed, Gloom, and Rasher are all pretty iconic nominated marbles now, but those names would have been pretty weird if they were surrounded by longer, more unique marbles that were never named for the purpose of being part of a greater team. Think about the Marble Rally marbles. They're a lot more creative and interesting in my opinion compared to the IQML original roster. However, over the years, I got too attached to these marbles, and I didn't want to stop using these established names and start over. But now, in 2025, with so many new marble types at my disposal and my elevated creativity in naming and team making, I feel like the QMGP roster can be exciting, fun, and compelling in ways that the IQML roster never really was. But to honor my individual marbles, I had to give them one last dance, one final season before the Individual Quadrilla Marble League comes to an end for good. I'll still always look fondly on this tournament, the one that started it all, and I truly think that, especially with the nominated marble system, the IQML offered something to the table that no other marble competition did. Speaking of the nominated marble system, does the conclusion of the individual QML mean that there won't be any more nominations? Well, I'm pleased to announce that, from 2026 onwards, the Quadrilla Marble Grand Prix will have 4 nominated teams from the Team Quadrilla Marble League. That's right, in 2026 and beyond, the QMGP will have qualifiers just like the IQML did, where the 4 nominated teams of 2 marbles will join in and the bottom 4 of the qualifiers won't make it to the main season. QMGP 2025 will only have the 16 original teams, so no qualifiers. But starting from Team QML Season 6, the best performing teams will be granted the opportunity to participate in the Quadrilla Marble Grand Prix. Also, while the ex-Lotus teams were not able to nominate marbles for IQML due to uniform clashes, I can confirm that because the QMGP roster will have new marble types, the ex-Lotus teams, so Rosebloods, Maze Runners, Green Supreme, and Cold Fusion, will be eligible for QMGP nomination. Okay, I've gone on for a long time now. If you've stuck with me for this long, thank you. I really appreciate it. The final bit of information that I'll give is that the 16 original QMGP teams will be revealed after Team QML Season 5 is over. This tournament is still in its infancy, it's technically not even born yet, so all of this is subject to change and feedback. Your feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, ideas, ramblings, and anything else you have to say about this, so feel free to comment below or discuss on the Discord server. I think that's where I'll leave it though. Thanks for watching everyone, stay tuned for the rest of the Team Quadrilla Marble League, and enjoy the rest of your day.